So the purpose of this video is to show how the Soundcraft Ui16 Snapshot feature does not work consistently, at least. I don't think it's actually working correctly. And to start with, I'm showing the About screen. It's showing that it is at what is, as of this time, the current software rev. I've done this on another Ui16 with the same software rev to verify that it's not just my unit. The first thing we're going to do is go into the shows, and I'll go ahead and load the init for what that's worth. That's a default that comes with the mixer. Now I'm going to load a test one that I've created, and just to show what that has done for the view groups and mute and subgroups, there's nothing assigned in the mute groups, there's nothing assigned in the view groups, there's nothing assigned in the subgroups. Okay, now I'm going to load test 2. Again, nothing assigned in the subgroup, nothing assigned in the view group, nothing assigned in the mute group. So I'm going to begin with just assigning some channels to all three of these. And I'm going to save them into test 2. So you can see we now have subgroups, view groups, mute groups, saved in test 2. Now I'm going to load test 1. And as you recall, test 1 did not have any assignments. Well, so why are they assigned? View groups, mute groups are still assigned. Subgroups, however, are not. So my conclusion is subgroups save in the snapshot. View groups and mute groups do not save. And in fact, using several controllers, I've proven that it follows the controller, whatever tablet, iPhone, iPad, whatever you're using as a controller. The last thing you set these to, that's what will be retained. Now that's the groups. As well as the groups, there's global and local settings. I like to have the pin slide out turned on, so the slide out is always on. And well, I use the last two auxiliaries for a headphone, but however you use it, you would want these to be selectable. So since we just loaded one, you would presume that these settings are tied to the snapshot test 1. Well, I can change these, so I'll change the pin slide out to off, and I'll change these to auxiliary control settings. And now I will go in to shows, and let's save this in test 2. Okay, so when we first entered test 1, it was like this. And I saved it in test 2 like this, and was like this. So what I'm going to do is show you that loading test 1 will not return those to the way they were. they stayed with the way I saved it in test 2. I can load test 2, they don't change. So they don't change based on which snapshot I've loaded. They just stay where I left them the previous time. It's additionally true that in the channel safes, you will not be able to save these and recall them. If I save these into save to show, I'll save to show, so presumably it went to test 2. If I load test 1, it doesn't change. I can turn these off and save them to test 1. Load test 2. Channel safes don't come back. So there may be more features. I'm quite certain that the settings, probably none of these settings are getting saved. Local and GUI and global. I haven't tested all of them, just the ones that were more important to me. So, in a nutshell, the mute and view groups do not save to snapshots. And there's kind of an additional little nit. You see this save to show button. Well, that only appears in the mutes group assignment. It does not appear in the view groups assignment or the subgroups assignment. I mean, that's a convenient spot to be saving, because you're changing these, so it's nice to be able to just hit something and right there on the screen, not have to wade through, go into your shows and select the one you're using and save it. Anyway, that is the problem that I came across and I wanted to show in this video.